Welcome to the American Family Insurance Championship Steve Stricker Report, Holiday Edition. My name is Nate Pokrass. I'm the Tournament Director of the AmFam Championship, and we have our tournament host, Steve Stricker, with us. And normally we get to celebrate this year during the holidays in Madison, celebrating the tournament and our grant distribution results. But we're all now getting to celebrate from our homes, and we're appreciative that Steve could join us. And I know all of us are excited to hear from Steve today, so I'm going to just dive right into questions. We appreciate all of you sharing them in advance, and we'll spend the next 20 to 25 minutes with Steve and touching on a wide variety of topics. And Steve, as we kick off, certainly we don't see snow in the background, so we know you're in a much more tropical place, and you've played the last 2 weeks. You've been down in Mexico, and then this last week you were at the Shark Shootout here in Naples, and you're staying down for the holidays at your home in Florida. And maybe just share a little bit how the last couple of weeks of playing has gone, and how you feel your game has been as you wrapped up 2020.
Yeah, first of all, hi everybody, and happy holidays to everybody. Hope all is well in your world, and getting through this crazy rest of 2020, and looking forward to the next year, obviously, for sure. But thanks for having me. Yeah, Nate, it was a good 2 weeks. I was excited to play. It had been since the U.S. Open in September since I played. So I had a couple month break and went down to Mexico, and my game was actually pretty sharp. And I was down here in Naples for about 10 days, getting ready before going to Mexico. And my game actually, like I said, was sharp. Excited to be there. Nikki was on the bag. My kids were there. We had a great time. Couple funny things happened while we were at the hotel. We had to change rooms a couple nights. We had so much rain down there that one morning we woke up to get ready to go play, and it's leaking from the roof into the main level, and then from the main level down to actually dripping right on Izzy's bed. So that hotel room was out, and then they put us into another one, and then 10:30 at night on Saturday night, after getting ready to play the last round, we're all sleeping, and I hear this shh. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the air conditioning unit like expelling Freon or something into our room, or so I snap up out of bed and grab my phone with the light, look at the air conditioner. Nope. Wasn't that. I still hear the noise. I go around the corner to the bathroom, and a pipe had burst that leads to the tank of the toilet. So here I am in my boxers and glasses because I can't see anything. And, this water is just everywhere and down on the floor trying to stop it. Normally at home, you just turn the little knob, right, to stop the water. Well, in Mexico, Cancun area is where we were at. No such knob. So this water is just coming out everywhere into into our living room or into our bedroom. There was an inch of water all of a sudden on the ground, so 11 o'clock that night, we're packing up our bags and moving down to another room. So, such is life on the road sometimes, but it was a good week. Felt really strong. I've been working out. After the end of last year, I'm like, I'm just not feeling as fit and strong. I feel like my body and strength wise is going a little south. So I decided to get a trainer, and I've been working out for a couple of months and prior to going to Mexico. And I really felt the difference, and I'm excited because I feel much stronger, definitely better than the last couple of years. And it showed right away. Did some really good things in Mexico, did some really good things again at Shark Shootout last week. So I'm excited to play and keep her going.
You talked a little bit about the chaos of being in the hotel and all the changes and all that. And, life on the road, it's when we're sitting at home watching on TV, it may look glamorous. You get to play these beautiful golf courses and sometimes at beautiful resorts, but maybe share a little insight of life on the road when sometimes you may be on the road 25, 30 weeks out of the year. And how do you plan your week out, whether it's eating, sleeping, do you have a consistent rhythm you try to always stay in every week, or is it just week to week you have to adjust based on the city or the region you're in?
Yeah, well, Mexico, we definitely had to adjust, but we're creatures of habit. I'll find the areas that I've enjoyed being in the most when I go to a tournament, and I'll tend to go back to that same area because of the restaurants that are in the area, or the hotel that's nice, or the proximity to the golf course. And then, you're getting in there pretty much on the same day. Either I usually get in there on Tuesday or Monday night. And then, you get your practice in, and you get ready to go. You learn the course a little bit, and mainly the condition of the course, because you've played it usually before. I've never played Mexico before, and that was a whole nother ball game, because again, here's another story from down there. I go down there and get down there Tuesday morning thinking I can get tested and then get out and play 9 holes Tuesday afternoon. Well, I didn't get my all clearance until 10 o'clock Tuesday night. So I got down there, wasn't able to practice there at all on Tuesday, sat out at the beach eating chips and guac, and then, wait to get that back. Well, that didn't come back till late that night. So Wednesday morning, Nikki and I got up super early. I got out before the Pro-Am, and I was able to walk 9 holes and chip and putt to those 9 holes. And then I was in the Pro-Am for 9 holes later in the day. So I played 9 holes, and then I was only able to walk the other 9 holes. So maybe that's the key, just go there and not really prepare all that well. And it turned out great. But yeah, every week is something's thrown at you, and you got to kind of roll with it and adapt to what you have on the road, and go from there.
Well, it's certainly been a different year for all of us in a wide variety of fashions, no different in the world of golf. And while tournaments have been able to execute in the second half of the year, most of them, majority of them were without fans. What was that like? What's, it's fans and fan support, sponsor support, volunteers. It's all a critical part of the tournament experience. What were your thoughts on playing in front of no fans this year?
Yeah, it's definitely a weird feeling. The energy out at the golf course is non-existent, right? I mean, you've gotten accustomed all these years that I played tour golf that, you have so much support. You hit a great shot, you hear the support from the fans, you can build off of that. And now that that's not there, you have to find another way of doing that and getting that energy. So it is a challenge. Some players have adapted really well to it. I've heard, some of the great players, like a Rory McIlroy, even said that he's had a hard time dealing with the lack of energy out on the golf course. So it's definitely different. The guys are even more casual, I would say, the players. I mean, it doesn't really feel like you're playing tournament golf so much. It feels like you're playing a round with your buddies, or a practice round, so it's been different. We're fortunate, knock on wood, that we've been able to play, and hopefully we can continue to play. But it definitely is different, and we all want everybody back. We want that that experience back. And I know the people are missing it. The sponsors are missing it, the fans, and as well as the players are missing it as well.
I think one constant for you when you're traveling is your family goes with you. And that's what's great. Whether, Nikki, your wife's been on being a caddy, being on the bag. Sometimes Mario, your brother-in-law, your daughters, Bobby and Izzy, travel with you. And, a unique thing's coming up this weekend is the PNC Championship. And for those that haven't followed it, it's a family affair, a team event. It started off father-son, but we've seen father-daughter, grandfather, grandson. We've seen different mixes. And what makes it exciting this weekend is Tiger and his son are playing. But you have 2 very, very competitive, talented daughters who compete in golf. Have you thought of playing in any team events with either of your daughters as you look ahead?
Well, yeah, we play so much golf together, and if I was eligible to play in that PNC, I would surely love to play in it, but I hadn't. You need to have won a major or the Players Championship, and I didn't do either one of those. So, yeah, I would have loved to do that. I'm looking forward to watching Charlie and Tiger this weekend, just to see how Charlie is and see how I've seen some videos from Tiger's phone. He showed me how he swings at it, but I'm interested to see, how he handles the pressure of playing with other guys and being kind of in the spotlight. I think that'll be really interesting, and I'm sure he's going to handle it great. So I think I'm just like anybody else this weekend, a big fan of the game of golf and Tiger and his boy and obviously all the other players too. But yeah, if we ever have that opportunity, it's hard to find an event where a pro can play, with their daughter or son or whatever like that besides this one. But yeah, we've always talked about how cool that would play. Even like AT&T, the tournament out at Pebble Beach, Nikki's talked about it, and and then my kids get in there too. They said, "Yeah, Dad, I'll play with you at AT&T." So that maybe keep me going out there for a while if I could do that.
I saw on social media this fall, and maybe even recently too. You've caddied for both Bobby and Izzy in different events. Are you nervous as a caddy? Are you nervous for them? Do you like it? How do you like being on the side now that you don't get to control the club?
Yeah, it's definitely harder. I'm not as nervous as I am as a player. As a player, you're a little more on edge and excitable and nervous, all those things, and as a caddy, you can kind of take a step back and just put it in my daughter's hands, and I just caddied for Bobby a couple of weeks ago, and she played great. And I got some things to learn. I'm not a great caddy. But I'm working hard at it. They tell me some things that I do poorly. I take that to heart and work on it and try to get better. But it's a challenge, but I enjoy it.
It probably gives you a new respect for Nikki and Mario, as they've been your caddy now. Now you've seen what they've gone through as well. Certainly,
no doubt. Yep, no doubt.
You talked earlier about fitness, and you came into this year, focusing on your fitness. And, there's one individual on the PGA Tour who has taken fitness to a new level, Bryson DeChambeau. And for those that followed the game have seen, he's really worked hard at it through eating and working out. But the byproduct of that is distance. And that's why he's ultimately trying to achieve the increase of his fitness is to get longer driving distance. What are your thoughts on how the game is lengthened out and where the game is going when you look at distance and ball speed, swing speed, all of that? What are your thoughts on that side of the game?
Yeah, that's a tough subject because it's, we're in the entertainment business, these guys out on the tour, Bryson, guys or fans, I should say, want to see that. They want to go to a tournament when they can and be able to watch Bryson carry it 330 in the air. It's just something that the normal player can't do. And so I understand that part of it, but then I look at the other end and say, well, some of these courses are becoming obsolete. The technology has gotten so good and the player has gotten much better, learning themselves, learning about their equipment, spending more time getting fitted for a driver. Most of these guys have a TrackMan or some sort of device to tell them spin rates and launch angles. And so everybody's getting dialed in and maxing out. And I'm doing the same thing. I never was a analytical guy when it came to playing the game, but I've gotten a little bit more lately trying to maximize my length, and what does that mean? It means getting the right shaft, the right ball combination, and then just working on technique, because you can pick up some extra yardage. So it's, I'm on the fence, I see it. I almost feel like sometimes there should be, almost two sets of rules, for the tour players and the amateur players, and kind of knock us down and knock us back a little bit. But then again, I look at people want to come and watch that, and they're playing the same equipment that we're playing, same ball, same drivers, same clubs. And there's a real connection there when a fan can actually, do the same thing or try to do the same thing as a tour player.
Yeah, and you touch on that. We've got a number of our sponsors who are on the Zoom today, and while a number of them are in the crowd in the hospitality venues, watching the tournament, relaxed, having their favorite beverage, a number of them get the opportunity to play in a pro-am.
Yeah.
and they get that experience. Not all of us we don't get to go on the field and toss a football around with Aaron Rodgers, but we do have a chance to play golf with Steve Stricker. So when we're coming into a pro-am, a lot of them all talk about being nervous. They're nervous coming into a pro-am. What are some tips that you try to give to amateurs when they're playing with you? I mean, you're there to work. You obviously have your element to get ready for a tournament, but also to provide an experience to a sponsor. How do you give some people advice when playing in a pro-am to calm those nerves?
Well, hopefully your pro kind of helps with calming your nerves, and making the amateur feel comfortable and making them feel like it's their day. It's a special day for them. And, but I think for the amateurs, just to go out and have fun with it. And, I've seen it all over the spectrum where, you get some good players that are trying to beat you while you're out there. And then guys that, just pick up too quick, or, you see the whole gamut of stuff. And, I guess my simple advice would be just to go out and have fun with it and enjoy it. They're usually it's a team competition, like a scramble or a shamble or something like that, where you don't have to play your whole ball for a score. But it's just to go out and have fun with it. And hopefully your pro kind of alleviates some of that pressure by making you feel comfortable and having a good time with it.
Can you think back to any tournaments? Do you remember a moment where you were nervous, hands were shaking, either getting over the ball, lining up over a putt? Is there any one moment that stands out in your mind where even you had just a little queasiness just kind of going into play?
Well, yeah, I guess the most nervous I've ever been was the very first time I played Augusta in tournament play. Even getting on the tee in a practice round, I was extremely nervous, which, it's just a practice round, but there's, 50,000 people out there watching a practice round on any given day at Augusta. So very nerve wracking there. And then obviously my first time on the tee for a team event, it was a President's Cup for me back in 1996. And then the Ryder Cup was another kind of element that just adds big time nerves to your game. And yeah, it's a challenge. You feel like you've never played, and you just got to trust your ability and trust that what you've been doing to get yourself there.
When you talk about the Ryder Cup, that was an exciting moment that was supposed to be part of the 2020 golf calendar in Wisconsin, and we now have another year before it comes back. So the delay in the year, are you comfortable with having another year? Is it a little bit more challenging now? Again, the players out on the tour are now politicking with you more to get on the team. How's kind of been your reaction to an added year of the next Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I wish we would have all been drinking out of the Ryder Cup at this point. Had won, and we would have it at this year's AmFam Championship in June on display. That's all going to have to wait, I guess. But yeah, I wish we would have been able to play it, obviously, with full fans. And then once we decided that fans weren't going to be able to attend, that kind of put it on, in a position that no one really wanted to play it without fans, because the fans make that event. It's just such a special event because of the fans and the interaction between the players and the fans, and how patriotic that event gets. So that being said, I'm kind of using it. If it puts me back out on the regular tour again for another year, basically, I'll play a handful of events on the Champions Tour, but it puts me back out on the regular tour again, mainly so I can watch these guys, get to know some of these younger players that are playing so well, and just to be around. I went to Mexico. I was able to see, Justin Thomas and Brooks Koepka, talk to them. I played with Daniel Berger last week in the Shark Shootout, who potentially could be on that team. Some other potential guys that are around. So it puts me back out there where I can just watch and, be available for them. And, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've got pretty much everything done. We did it all last year before the shutdowns happened. And So now it's just about watching these guys, watching them play, and especially as the year goes on, watching the point system and seeing how all that shakes out.
And this question, not so much of who would be on the Ryder Cup team per se, but who are some of the young guys you're impressed with out on the tour? And I know we're seeing the younger and younger guys winning, and they're coming in competing. They're in the top 5 every week and winning tournaments at a younger age. Separate of not necessarily being selected to be on the Ryder Cup, but whose game are you impressed with as you see some of these younger players coming on tour?
Yeah, the obvious one. Well, there's a couple obvious ones. The Colin Morikawa. I was able to play a practice round with him at the PGA Championship at Harding Park in August. Just a delightful young kid too. I mean, just a great kid, ton of talent. So I played with him on that Tuesday before he ended up actually winning that week, which was kind of cool to see. Another guy, Matthew Wolf, has been playing great of late, and has shown tremendous power. I mean, he hits it a long ways, and like you said, these kids come out of school with a ton of confidence and game, and they just think they can win at the next level, and some of them do, and then they're off and running. But those two guys, the young guys, obviously have caught my attention, have worked their way up into the top 15 in the world ranking. So odds of them making the team are very high, which is good. It's good to get these young guys involved in these team sports and new faces, no scar tissue. I mean, they're just ready to roll and they're ready to kick some butts. So that's always a good thing. And then obviously, you got the mainstays of Justin Thomas, who plays great, and Bryson, who's been playing great. And then you got a guy like Jordan Spieth that I'm pulling like crazy for him to change things and get his game going, and because he can be such a huge component of some of these team events, because he's a great kid and has a ton of game when he gets it going. So there's some guys that I'd like to see, start to play a little bit better. Brooks Koepka too hasn't been playing that great of late, and like to see him start to play better too.
Well, and now as we look at the PGA Tour champions, there's some new rookies per se of Ernie Els, Jim Furyk, Phil Mickelson. They're all your peers. You came up through the tour with all of them, and now here we have the PGA Tour champions, and they're winning. Jim Furyk, Phil played in a couple Champs Tour events and won. What are your thoughts as we go into 21? And I know you'll play some PGA Tour events, but certainly PGA Tour champions is getting stronger as we see your fellow peers start to enter the field. So what are your thoughts on their success and you're competing against them again?
Yeah, it's great for our tour, the Champions Tour. When you get the likes of those guys coming out there with their history in the game and their the things that they've done over the years, the resumes that they come out there with, and and they're still playing great. So when you go to a Champions Tour event, if any one of those guys are in there, you're going to have to play well to beat them. And so I'm excited. I'll play probably, like I said, a half dozen or so of those, and 6 or 7, and see if I can't play a little bit better out there this year. And but it's a great thing for our tour. It just brings a little bit more attention, like when you get a Phil or Furyk or Ernie playing well on the Champions Tour level.
Did Phil provide any jabs, knowing he's won? Is he reminding you of that he's got a couple trophies this year already? Is he reminding everybody of that, or is he being more humble in his victories on the Tour Champions?
Well, I played with him his first two, or actually his initial competitive round on the Champions Tour. Actually, I think it was the first 2 days, and then I waited around because he had won his first one, and I went up to him and told him congratulations, but I also told him at the same time, I'm like, this wasn't worth any Ryder Cup points. So get your ass moving and get some Ryder Cup points, because he's a great guy to have in the team room. He's a great teammate, and if he's playing well, we surely could use him as well. But so you got to be one step ahead of Phil if you're going to, get jabbed or be jabbed. So anyways, yeah, he's a good guy to have around.
Excellent. Well, we're nearing the end here. Two final questions for you. And first one is, unfortunately, the AmFam champ, didn't happen this year, and we know the environment, but we were certainly still able to provide over 2.8 million to charity, and that's taken our lifetime total over $10 million, 400 grants we've issued. And just share your thoughts on the impact that this tournament's been able to have on so many great organizations throughout the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, we are so lucky. I mean, Nikki and I, my family, and obviously you guys too, the whole team, Nate and your team, and American Family Insurance, our sponsor and a partner of mine in our foundation. We are so blessed to be able to do this and to be able to give back through the game of golf, right? I mean, and that's such a cool thing about our game, that we're able to raise awareness about all these other deficiencies in our community sometimes, because that's what they are. I mean, people need things and they need this help. And there's groups and organizations out there that provide that help, but the deficiency comes in the lack of money. So we're able to provide that through the game and through this tournament. And I always thought it would be a great event in Madison. I thought the community would really get behind it. But that being said, I never thought it would get to the level that it is today. And with the amount of excitement and respect and money raised that we're able to do on a yearly basis, never in my wildest dreams that I thought that would happen. So, I appreciate all the support. I know you do too, Nate. I know AmFam. I mean, I say thanks to Jack every time I see him, I think. It's just for this partnership to happen, you need both sides working. And obviously, I can't provide the sponsorship money. Only a place and a company like AmFam can do that. And without them, it would never happen. And we are just lucky to be able to do it.
Well, as we wrap up here, we enter the holiday season. Any fun Stricker family holiday traditions that either you've had in place or new ones that you're starting to create?
Yeah, that's a good one. We actually are doing a different one this year. We drew names amongst the four of us, because we're not coming back to Wisconsin because of the whole COVID thing, and we're not going to see our parents. Both sets of parents are elderly, and we're kind of just staying away. So we're staying down here. But we drew names amongst the four of us, and we're getting a gag gift for that other person. So nobody knows who drew who, and you got to get them a gag gift. And so that's something new for us. It's nothing huge, but it'll provide a little entertainment on Christmas morning.
We'll love it. Yeah. Next time we connect after the new year, we'll have to ask what everybody received.
I'm interested to see what I'm going to get. Or I drew, don't tell anybody, but I drew my oldest daughter, Bobby. So I've got a couple good ideas, and but yeah, it'll be fun.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you to everybody on the Zoom today, a number of our sponsors, and thank you very much. And thank you. We had some of our volunteer chair people. We couldn't do the tournament without all you volunteers. And we thank everybody. We appreciate everybody's generous time and support. And we're going to be back bigger and better than ever in 2021. And Steve, we sincerely appreciate all your time and wish you a great holiday season.
Same to you guys. Thanks, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Take care, everybody.